Very much, Mr. Babin.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Dr. Orme-Zavaleta, thank you for being here today, and I thank you for your professional career. Appreciate it. I'd like to continue the same line that Dr. Murphy had started a while ago. As several of my colleagues have already mentioned, our discussion here today is overshadowed by the recent New York Times article that provided a long list of comments and a leaked copy of an earlier draft of the supplemental rule. I have to say that I'm very disappointed that we're allowing the work of one reporter to characterize our discussion here today, particularly when we have yourself followed by a panel of expert witnesses to talk about the broader issue of improving scientific transparency. But since we've decided to make a New York Times article the centerpiece of our discussion, I think it's only fair that we include the EPA's rebuttal to that article, which Dr. Murphy had already brought up. And without objection, if it's not already done, I'd like to enter that into the record, if that's okay. Madam Chair?
Without objection.
Thank you. So do you think, I know you've already mentioned it, but I'd like for you to elaborate a little bit more. Do you think that the New York Times article accurately portrayed the draft supplemental rule that was leaked?
So I think the article confused a few aspects.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do you think this committee would be better served if we, as you suggested in your prepared testimony, receive briefings on the supplemental rule once it is published through the appropriate channels instead of wasting our time debating an outdated version?
So again, I'm happy to be here today to help answer questions related to the proposed rule, and we're happy to follow up with briefings once the supplemental is publicly available.
Okay, well, will you commit today to work to schedule those briefings as soon as the supplemental rule is published?
I'll defer to our congressional affairs staff, and they'll follow up.
Okay. And do you have any reason to believe that the proposed or draft supplemental rule would somehow make it more difficult for the EPA to carry out its regulatory mission?
So just to note, the supplemental is a supplement to
Right.
the proposed rule, seeking additional clarifications and modifications to the rule and getting comment back on that.
Okay, well, the New York Times article said just the opposite. So you're saying that it, will this supplemental make it more difficult to
So that's
do that?
one of the clarifications that we wanted to provide, that this is not a new rule. It is a supplement to what was proposed, where we're
Right.
seeking some clarification of terms and other aspects of the rule and getting further comment back from the public.
Well, when I read the New York Times article, it didn't come across like that at all. So anyway, Madam Chair, I'm going to yield back. That's all I have. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr.